Adwoa is a brilliant, bold, relentless, ungovernable, and intentionally molded archetype of greatness.
Hello everyone, my name is Adwoa, but I'm notoriously known as Obaa Boni. I am a criminal defense attorney, but I think in this context, most people know me as a tweeter and a blogger. I founded a blog, gunafeminism.com, which I haven't updated in about a year. I founded that blog when I was in law school, when I had a lot more time, but now that I graduated and now that I started working, I don't have nearly as much time as I previously did. So I'm most active on Twitter, where I try to really be sort of like a digital activist that points out sociocultural problems with what we accept as normal. My entire goal on Twitter, in addition to having fun and meeting people, is to really challenge normalized ideas that allow one group of people who have political power, they have economic power, they have social power, they have the history of dominance behind them. I try to challenge the idea that it is okay, it is acceptable, it is inevitable that they would dominate other groups of people. So that's what I do. What brings me joy in digital activism is when people step outside of psychological conquest, whether it's for the first time or whether it's repeatedly and constantly. And what I mean by psychological conquest is that when you exist in a society that tells you that you are worth less than people, that you should have less political representation than people, that you should have less autonomy, less use of your body, less access to resources, that if something bad happens to you, if someone is violent to you, it's your fault. And in this very specific instance, I'm talking about victim blaming in terms of sexism, right? Like how women are blamed when we are harmed by men, how women are disrespected and demeaned when we try to make autonomous sexual choices with our body that exist outside of heterosexual marriage. Or I can even be talking about how poor people are denied access to education, denied jobs, denied like wages that they can survive on, and then they're blamed for their poverty. They're looked at with contempt. When you live in a society and you occupy one of these oppressed spaces, in order for you not to resist every day, in order for you not to say, look, this is really fucked up and I have to do something to stop it, you must believe that this is right, and you must believe that this is normal, and you must believe that things aren't going to change. And that's what I mean by psychological conquest. When an oppressive society takes over your psyche and makes you accept norms and values at your own expense. Anyway, when people step outside of that for the first time, or when people constantly step outside of that and they realize everything I've been taught is bullshit, or everything I've been taught about this is wrong, that makes me happy. That makes me joy. What would I tell my younger self? Nothing. I tell my younger self nothing because I don't want to tell them something and then become a different person. Everything that I've gone through has made me who I am. And I know that sounds cliche and super whack and head ass, but I mean, really, I don't want to change anything, because what if I tell my younger self something and then my younger self makes different decisions and then I turn out to be a different person and I don't like the person that I become? I'm going to take a pass on that. Would I ask people to emulate the steps that I took? That's a loaded question. So I'm just going to say, systematically, I think that's impossible. Individually, I'm just going to give tips on what steps I took and what I think that people maybe should do. So systematically, it's really difficult to emulate other people because a lot of people become who they are because of the access and the resources that they have. Either because of the education that they have, because of the parents resources that can pay for exposure. It can pay for them to travel. Those things cannot be mimicked, right? You either are born into a place where you have those things or you don't. So it's really difficult to tell people to emulate you when you essentially benefit from inequality and have things that other people don't. So that's my little shout out to my privilege. The other side of it, individualistically, I guess, is sure to read as many philosophers as you can get your hands on, to read as many Black feminist critical thinkers that you can get your hands on, to be well versed not just in, like if you're an atheist, not just in secular humanist thought, but also in liberation theology. Like basically, if you're interested in liberation, to be well versed in all the things that different people coming from different subject positions have to say about how to get to liberation. Sure, I would encourage people to read a lot, to question, to critically assess, and to be able to speak and resist whenever they can. The lowest moment in my digital activist career would have to be, I think I remember the date. It's January 2015. I just come from Ghana. I just started the last semester of my last year of law school. And I'm having an identity crisis. I don't know what I'm going to do after. I don't know where I belong. I don't know what it is that will make me happy. And I go online and I see that certain people are making comments about my appearance. I'm already feeling pretty bad about myself. And they're posting pictures and mocking me and degrading me. And I've been cyberbullied a few times online. But I think January 2015, when my personal life and my career life aren't going as well as I would like, the added factor of cyberbullying just made it a horrific experience for me emotionally. Ghanaians in Ghana have absolutely legitimate feelings about the condescending, the arrogant attitudes of Ghanaians in America. I don't feel obligated to choose whether I belong in Ghana or I belong in the States. I think that both of those places shape my identity and they shape who I am, and I can't pick one over the other. The